Hello, hello, hello. Back with it. Um, let's go. So we are. If I go back to curriculum, just show us quickly. We're coming to the end of the spreadsheet. I believe I said this yesterday that this course wasn't there when I started. I have verified, and you can verify. Excuse me, from the first video. So I will come back and do this. But alas, where are we? We are here. Cool, let's just recap. Cool. Let's just start from 91. Why not? Even though we've done it already. Update function. You can actually evaluate formulas. Remember that you wrote the if when the function was called. Yep. Okay, set the value of the element. Set the if statement. Set the value of the element to be the result of your eval formula function. Did not pass. Why am I lost? Okay, yeah. Set the value of the element. Equal to eval formula. Yeah, just follow instructions. Now, my head is not there. It needs to be the content of the cell. So content starts with equal characters. So you need to pass the substring of value starting at index 1. So are they then saying we pass in value substring value dot substring 1. So I think I'll tell you something. I think sometimes it's worth taking that step back. Like, the thing with coding is you probably have to leave it. I don't want to say you probably have to, because I don't want to speak with too much authority on something that I am still learning to do. But you probably always want to leave it in a state where, one, you can pick it back up, but in a good enough state where it's understandable where you leave it. And two, you probably want to keep notes or comments or things that, things that can be read without context and make sense. Because so I tried doing some car seat coding today, and I've got a video on my phone, and this step just wasn't making sense to me. Just I wasn't understanding that it wanted me to pass in this substring, right? It's fitting there, but I guess working on a 2 hours sleep or whatever, I just couldn't figure that out. But then starting here and having to start at 91, which I did unintentionally, it just gives you context, and all of a sudden it made sense. So where I spent maybe 20 minutes on my phone earlier trying to figure this out in the car seat as I waited to pick up my daughter, that's just sort of fallen into place just because I had the context of the previous step. So I guess that's just to speak to keeping good documentation, keeping good notes on your stuff such that you're writing for future you, not current you that has the context. But future you might come back to this however many months from now without the context, and still be able to make sense of it. And also leaving things at good enough checkpoints, as it were. Not checkpoints, I think save point is the idea I want to use to borrow from, gaming terminology, where you go past a certain checkpoint and you save at that point, and when you start back, you start from there. You want your save points or your checkpoints to be significantly stable, enough where if you come back to it however many days, weeks, months later, it's easy enough to jump right back in. And I guess to some extent, FreeCodeCamp does that with the way that they've designed the steps, albeit these are individual steps, so it's hard, but yeah, they do that to some extent. So each step is like I can, for the most part, and this is not a good example of it because I couldn't do that in the previous step, but for the most part, you can leave a step and come back to it, or complete a step and go to the next one, and it's relatively okay, especially with the instructions that they always give. Cool. Which is, I guess, the documentation. Now you can quickly get all cells from your page by getting the container element by its ID and accessing the children property of that. Pass that to your eval formula call as a second parameter. Okay. Let me just check this because I'm making a wild assumptions. Okay, so there is an ID container. Yeah, okay. So I wonder if that will suffice. No. Okay, so I've got the element by ID container. Oh. Do I have to do... I don't think I can do .children. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that. My God, I could do that. Cool. So I probably should have, you could probably use, I should probably go into the documentation to figure that out. But the way that they've put children there suggested maybe I could use that, which was cool. That's interesting enough. And a brief word from our enablers. Doing this thing with a child is just not easy, man. I'm sorry. I'm almost constantly tired and my head just doesn't work. Anyway. Cool. So, yeah, children returns a collection, which is array-like, but not an array. We've dealt with something like that before. So we are going to have to wrap all of this in array, not from, which will make an array from an array-like item, or objects, I should say. It's now functional. You don't have support for very many formulas. Add an even property to your spreadsheet. It should take a num parameter. Okay. I think they want us to create something here. So I'm going to okay, so they haven't asked us to create something new. They've asked us to create an even property. I'm not quite sure how to do that. Um, 1 second. Sorry about that. Little one came out of her bed at just the right time. And yeah, I got distracted. Anyway, where are we? Yeah, so they want us to add even, but even they wanted to take like some parameters and stuff. It's all a bit confusing because I don't know. Can I build that? Can I build something out that way? I'm not entirely sure. Can I build it into the object? Probably can, because it's an object and they have properties and values, isn't it? So I reckon I should be able to just build it in. It's just that's not how we've done anything thus far, so it's a bit discombobulating, honestly. But yeah, I'm kind of thrown there because I'm thinking I should create a like a const even, and then give that. So let's use an arrow function to give that nums, and then build out. So we want it to return. So implicitly return the result of filtering. Nums will only include thingy. So nums dot filter. Let's check. Filter method. array, filter, checkout. Okay, so filter can take a function. Yeah, okay. So filter, and that's why they said to use is even. Is even. Yeah, okay. And do that, but will that work? Your function should take. It does. Unless they want to build it in here. So what's the... Okay, so if they wanted to build it in here, then it's that, right? And then that's the... Yo, okay. I didn't even clear this one. Okay, so they wanted us to build that into the object. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna do the rest later. I'm a bit fried. But cool. That was interesting. So that's up to 91 to 96. And thank you guys.